One man can change the world with a bullet in the right place.
Welcome back to the internet's favorite interracial bromance known as the New to Poo Podcast. My name is Max Fallis. It's spelled with a capital F. And before you ask,
who the fuck is that guy?
That giggling monster is the BBR Bag Man himself. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you, sir. We're kicking off episode 17, I believe, by my count, titled Revenge of the Gun Show. We just had a nice little outing at what was the name of that show, sir?
That's the Eagle shows at Allentown.
Okay. So we're going to do a bit of a follow-up. I guess we're going to have a quick talk about what we did, what we saw, and how it went. What you got?
Well, I feel like we did that episode and we kind of talked about a bunch of stuff, but it wasn't really fresh in your mind, and you got to experience it all over again firsthand. Mm-hmm. I also introduced you to the gentleman I refer to as Bob the Fisherman.
Yes, that was a surprising pleasure to be standing there and you say, "Hey, Max, meet Bob," and like I had to kind of process it and then play it off in real time very quickly because I didn't want to blow Bob's cover or your cover.
And Bob looks at me and he was like, "Don't do that." And I was like, "He's cool. He's with me." He was like, "All right."
Shout out to Bob. Bob, you're the man. Thank you for keeping us safe out there. So, of course, I did a patch run, got a couple things, found a He-Man patch, of course, keeping it real.
Nice.
And a nice Hulk patch, because that's like one of my to-do things now is to decorate my safe with some cool swag and stuff.
Can we call it your unsafe?
Yes. Yes, we can. The official New to Pew canon that we will refer to the safe as the unsafe. It's canon. It's, as they say, it's canon. Did you end up buying anything, sir?
Yeah, we both bought the same thing.
Oh, that's
Goldie,
right.
The alpaca sock man, hooked us both up with
alpaca socks.
You're holding it. Yes. I'm wearing mine.
I haven't put mine on just yet because I have yet to take a shower tonight because I'm a filthy animal. And but yeah, since that day, I've been screaming at alpaca socks around my house just randomly, and I gave them to my little one to try on. I was like, "Yo, try these," because she this is gonna sound really fucked up, but it's my own kid, so I can say this. My young child has extreme dexterity with her feet. It's almost monkey-like, and of course,
that's black.
Or could be interpreted as
that's racist.
But either way, it works. But so it's my kid, so whatever. Like, she'll lay down and play video games and literally twirl a ball with her feet like a seal does, almost. Like
that's crazy.
She's sick with it. So, yeah, I call her Seal Girl because she's that good with it. So I came in, and the first thing I did was I pulled out the alpaca socks, and I'm like, "Yo, you gotta check these Snuggle Bunnies out, alpaca socks." She's like, I'm like, "Yo, just put them on and tell me what you think." And she's not into the texture, and I noticed it too because she hates wearing jeans. So there's a bit of a texture feeling thing with her. I guess it's the downside of her superpower of being so ambidextrous with her feet.
Right, she's hypersensitive as well.
Yeah. Like she doesn't like sweaters. She doesn't like
with
jeans.
Great dexterity comes great sensitivity.
There you go. That's exactly it. It's the hyper connection to the nerves and the muscles in the feet. So, but I've been trooping around with these alpaca socks like every night, and they are amazing.
We went on a hike the other day, and I immediately ran to go grab these. I was like, "Oh, I'm trying out my new socks today," and almost didn't go because I was like, I want to do nothing but lay here in the warm suppleness that is the super thick alpaca sock.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for my wife to find them and steal them. So,
ooh, see, that's why I keep them on my desk here, so nobody else could take them. Like I haven't washed them yet, but luckily they haven't been out the house. But they stay here on my desk, so when I come in and I take my work boots off, I slide my dogs into the alpaca socks, and I'm officially
They're
home.
so thick. They're like slippers. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't.
Yeah, and Goldie hooked us up, so
Shout
I'll
out
have
Goldie.
to I'll have
Good
to
dude.
find his information and put it in the show notes for you.
I
Yes,
think I
very
saw
nice
his
gentleman.
Business card somewhere around here, but yeah, great guy.
Vietnam veteran, had great stories. We were laughing with each other all weekend long. We had a really good time. It was a exceptionally slow show, right? There were like more vendors than customers for most of the weekend. And Goldie and I just went back and forth telling jokes and stories and whatever else.
Was there more people on Saturday? Because I went on Sunday only.
No.
Oh. Okay. Wow. Okay. Just
Yeah, it was bad.
Felt
The funny thing is, Angelo came out and had some of his gun stuff that he's done with and is trying to pass along. And I think he did more business off of the budget get it out of my house bin than I did all weekend.
Well, you sold some good shirts. The shirts were a good item, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah. It just overall, usually that show, I'll bring home 3 or 4 times what I made that weekend. So that's why I'm saying it was a pretty slow show. And other vendors were talking about how slow it was. And I think I sold more stuff to vendors than I did regular customers too. So again, just, kind of gives you an idea of just how rough a weekend that was. And I don't know what else was going on. Usually you can kind of gauge it and go, oh, there's a football game, there's this, there's that. No idea what kind of killed it that weekend, but did see some of my regular customers. Angel popped in, so I think that was the first time I got to tell him about the podcast. He brought a buddy of his. We talked for a little bit. It was good seeing him. You were there. Angela was there. Like I said, we had a good time and a bunch of laughs with Goldie. And yeah, a bad day at the gun show is still better than a good day at the day job. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. The ammo guy behind us, I think, had a pretty decent day. At least, the Sunday that I was there, he wasn't stopping moving at all. He had a good line of customers, great deals. I picked up some good stuff. Also managed, one of the things on my list, excuse me, was to find some extra magazines from my wife's SR-22. And dug around a little bin. The guy was like, I don't know, you can look in here, and 3 bins over from the Ruger bin. Oh, here you go. Okay. Got a nice little hookup with that. So that was a benefit.
Got lucky. Good.
Yeah, that was a benefit. And then, of course, the other 2 that I ordered came in mail like 2 days after, so now she's up to 6. So she's
good,
prepared, I should say. Well stocked for various deployments, for lack of a better term. Hopefully, I can get to the range on Sunday. That's what I would like to do this weekend. But it's homecoming weekend, so it's going to be a challenge.
Boy. Yeah, I took Little Sean to the range the other day and had a good time with him. Again, I'm doing everything with Angelo lately. We went over to one of the wildlife management areas where they have a small rifle range set up. Brought a couple of 22s and let him knock around with that. It's been a while since he shot, so it was good getting him out. He got worn out with it pretty quick because we were using a 10-22 with a scope. So he gets eye fatigue pretty quick.
Okay.
And, he's still little. He doesn't have a real long attention span anyway. So we were only there 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and he was pretty well worn out. But, yeah, shot paper, shot some, Angelo brought these rubber reactive targets that glow where the round hits them, which was pretty neat.
Oh, that's cool.
I forget where he said those were from. Yeah. So that was pretty good.
How does that work? Like,
he had a good time.
What is it? How does that work?
I'm not sure if it works off the heat or off of the impact, but it kind of glows like a glow stick.
Okay.
And then, after however long it fades again.
Maybe it's like a multiple layer thing, like the 2 chemicals are separated, and then when the round goes through it, that merges it at that spot like a glow stick, you think? Or
no, because it's reusable. It'll do it over and over and over. So it's got to be something in the rubber that's, I'm thinking, heat sensitive.
Okay.
That when the hot round touches it, it changes the color.
Because he had
But
some explosive powder target thingies too. What was that little Ziploc bag he had when he was at the table? What was that?
don't say it like that.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're
Jeez.
right. I mean, look, man, it looked. I had to have him explain it to me and just tell the people.
Yeah, so that is a binary exploding, commonly referred to as tannerite, but there's a couple other brands or whatever out there. So that's one that you mix the two chemicals, and then when you shoot it, it explodes. So small quantities are just kind of fun, and it came in a little kit that had like little plastic cups that you fill up.
Yeah.
That have magnets on the back, and you can stick it to a steel target. And if you hit it directly with a 22, or spall from a larger round hits it, it'll set it off. So
is that what dudes be using to like blow up refrigerators? And there's a
yep.
okay. There's a classic. I must say classic, but there's a video I've seen floating around YouTube a lot. A guy puts it like in a truck or a microwave, and the door damn near comes back at him and hits him or something like that.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, have a nice day.
I think it was that.
Yeah, FPS Russia.
Yeah, the Russian
is the guy who was doing a lot of that. And if I remember correctly, it was either I want to say his cameraman was either injured or killed in one of those things.
Oof.
Like there was a lot of stuff that went on with him because of, I want to say he blew up a lawnmower at 1.2 with the blade still in it. Like, didn't think that through.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, we got to do better out there making these great videos for content and clicks, likes, and views. Mm-hmm. But you got to be safe, guys. Like, seriously, don't get
here's your catchphrase for this episode. Yeah, you can make really cool videos if you put zero value on human life.
Shit, yeah, that's true.
Right, because you see a lot of like training videos from other countries where human life is not valued nearly as highly as it is here. And they do a lot of cool stuff, shooting past each other and making guys stand between balloons and shooting balloons on either side of their head and all this other stuff. Like, yeah. Don't try that crap here.
No.
Looks cool on YouTube. Don't try this at home.
Was it the Darwin Awards? I think the one YouTube guy does. And while it's fun to laugh at, like the implications of what really happens in real life is definitely something that needs to be taken seriously, not for likes, clicks, and views, folks.
Absolutely.
So,
which is why you don't see us doing any of that dumb stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. The So Eagle, they produce the gun shows, right? And that's why they are able.
Correct. They're the company that runs the gun show, and they were bought out by Jordan Vinrow a while back because he owns a company that was doing a lot of 80% parts, and then there was a dispute about whether they wanted 80% receivers at the show, and Jordan went, "Well, you're not kicking me out because I'm buying you." Like ultimate baller gangster move. And then the government changed their ruling on what an 80% is or is not, or what a receiver is or is not, and all that nonsense. Mm-hmm. So he just did a big event for 3D printers too. So interesting stuff coming out of there. Jordan's cool. Jordan's a really cool guy.
So aside from the blue BBR shirt, I stocked up on some 9mm. Got the magazines for the wife and the alpaca socks, and I think that's all I got. Oh, and my patches.
Your patches. Yeah, there was no pickle vendor there. Did you get any beef jerky before you left?
No, I dare not tempt the jerky at all.
Some cheap knives.
I looked. I didn't see anything interesting.
One of the baseball bats wrapped in barbed wire.
Anyone want to finish the game?
I picked those up, and I did see the wooden club with the large saw in the middle of it. I did see that.
Mm-hmm. The circular saw blade stuck in the middle of the
Yeah, so that was about it. I got my socks, my ammo, my T-shirt, my patches, my extra magazines. Mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned. You know,
Mhm.
got to hang out with
We-
some cool folks.
We walked through the show at one point. I was pointing stuff out to you. You were like, "Wait, for real?"
Yeah.
The Desert Eagle was where you lost your mind.
The Desert Eagle was interesting to see. I was poking around under the tables and I saw that freaky little monster that I just sent you a picture of. What is that?
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah, this is one of those weird Keltec guns,
Okay.
and it's in a meme all about weird Keltec guns. But Keltec does a lot of weird stuff, and this is one of their. We'll call it a pistol.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a pistol.
But
Sure.
it uses the 5.7 P90 magazine. It looks like, and it's just absurd.
Okay.
So it's probably like a 50 round 5.7 pistol because it's so big and looks like something out of RoboCop. It's hard to say.
All right, I
But
googled
yeah.
it. It's a Keltec P50 pistol,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks ridiculous, but somehow intriguing to me. What this thing looks like. It, yeah. So it opens up, and you split it in half, and you put. That's a. What you say? What's the deal with that magazine? That's a what? P90 magazine.
Yeah. So it uses a 50 round P90 magazine chambered in 5.7. So I was right. But yeah, Keltec makes weird stuff, man.
Do you have to wind
They're
that
willing to
magazine?
take. No.
Oh, okay.
So it's a straight magazine, but it actually rotates the bullets in it. There's like a helical feed path.
Okay.
So yeah, it's such a weird system. It's already a weird system, and then they inverted that whole process because that magazine goes in the other way in the P90, so it's
Okay.
on the top and feeds down into the gun. This thing splits in half, so you're lifting the barrel in action up off, but
Yeah.
opening it like a top cover on a machine gun to put this magazine in upside down, so the bullets then feed up and into the chamber. Yeah,
This thing is
so weird.
caught my eye though. Not gonna lie.
Sure.
The aesthetic is cool, but it just doesn't seem like I can't imagine somebody having that on a holster, being that it's classified
No.
as a pistol though.
Yeah, so this is more more like an AR pistol that you're probably going to shoot it two-handed and more than likely put some sort of brace on it
Yeah.
so you can get a little more stability out of it for shooting it that way. But it's weird.
Looks like a rail gun. Definitely.
Yeah,
the sci-fi aesthetic. Oh,
they like making weird stuff.
This one looks cute. I like this one here.
So that was their. Let's see what else we saw there.
Yeah, that was on a guy's table.
We can pretty much go off of this meme. You also saw the KSG 12 gauge pump with the double tubes, and then the other 12 gauge pump with like the big goofy top rail on it. I forget what they call that one. Yeah, lots of weird stuff. There you go. Keltec P50 with side folding brace adapter.
Yeah, that's
And it
pretty
looks
cool.
like they either put a suppressor or a dummy suppressor on there and an optic, and yeah, just some nerd put a laser on there. Oh, that's hilarious. Anyway, yeah.
Gun memes of death. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. I saw something. What was that big shotgun with the weird stock on it? He pointed it out to me. It's on that back table.
Yeah, there was somebody selling bullpup semi-auto shotguns, which again I hate. I'm not a big fan of bullpups in general.
Doesn't seem comfortable at
and-
all.
No, and it's weird to reload. Like it's very particular. You have to be really specific about, if you like that, you probably like all of them. But if you don't like one, you probably don't like any of them. And I find that the 12 gauge bullpups that I've shot are it's a miserable experience.
Is there
They'd
any
be pretty bad.
mechanical benefit to the bullpup style?
So the benefit of a bullpup is you're maintaining a full-length barrel, but shortening the overall length of the firearm because you're moving the barrel and the action behind the trigger pack. So the other thing that means is that there's this big-ass transfer bar that goes from the trigger back to the action, and usually that makes for a really spongy, flexible linkage and a spongy, shitty trigger. So again, not a fan. The very few that I've seen that are good, Steyr makes one that's pretty good. The Steyr clone is pretty good, but everything else I've pretty much hated.
It doesn't seem practical at all. Maybe it's something that. Where did that style come from? Where did bullpup, like, is that like a European design? Like a steering wheel on the right-hand side of the car kind of shit?
Yeah, I would think so, because Steyr, the British L85 was a bullpup. There's the FAMAS. There's several, and they're all European nations. So I mean, it's got to have deep roots over there.
Yeah, it just seems different, almost for the sake of being different. But again, if maybe there's a functional benefit to it somehow.
The big benefit is you, like I said, you're shortening the overall length of the firearm. But okay, it's a solution looking for a problem. Like just build a shorter gun or put an adjustable stock on it. Like there's plenty of other ways that I think work better than trying to turn the entire system backwards and then forwards again. Yeah. Not a fan. Moving on.
I have to agree. Yeah, definitely.
I hate them so much. I don't even want to talk about them. I don't want to give them airtime.
Well, something that does need some airtime. Do you have a sponsor for this episode?
Of course, Ammo Squared. Your ammunition piggy bank is a subscription service where you set all your parameters. You pick your calibers, you set up your shipping dates, you set up how much you want to pay each month, and they conveniently do all your ammo shopping for you, and we'll store it or ship it based on your preference. And we're going to put a link in the show notes that gets you $20 off your first order. That's free ammo. So that's it for this episode. Be sure to check out the sponsors we mentioned earlier. If you want to join the conversation, you can email us at new2pew@blackbagresources.com. You can check out the website, blackbagresources.com. And if you really want to go deep, you can check out the Black Bag Resources Network and become a part of the community. Thanks for listening.